This is my psychology in a film, and for my film, I have chosen Memento. The main character of this movie and the character I've chosen is Leonard Shelby. He's an insurance claim investigator turned self-proclaimed private investigator after an attack inside his own home causes Leonard to experience a traumatic brain injury that gives him his condition and what he remembers to be the death of his wife. His wife does not actually die here, but he misremembers this. Memento's setting is a rundown modern U.S. city. He spends most of his time in his motel or at a bar or diner. The culture, Leonard is also very independent, even though his condition may not allow him to be. He remembers information by writing on Polaroid photos or tattooing notes on his body. His diagnosis, Leonard experienced a traumatic brain injury which leads to anterograde amnesia. This is a neurocognitive disorder that prevents the brain from encoding new short-term memories into long-term memories. As Leonard says, I have no short-term memory. I know who I am. I know all about myself. I just, since my injury, I can't make new memories. Everything fades. The cultural context. I think with the culture being a somewhat rundown but still modern US city, that a therapist could correctly diagnose him and would likely correctly diagnose him. I think he was diagnosed, it just doesn't show it in the movie because of how specific he is about his condition. I think in less developed countries, this would not be the case. I found in my research that without a universal grade to the severity of head injuries, evaluating results can be very difficult. I think without the technology we have, less developed cultures could not successfully diagnose this all the time. And I think people with his disorder are often perceived as needing more attention and assistance than they do, and as a lesser person because of this. His symptoms, for major neurocognitive disorder due to a traumatic brain injury, which is what the DSM puts anterograde amnesia under. Um, there are three main requirements. Some of these have multiple options, so I just listed what Leonard has. He has evidence of a traumatic brain injury. The movie very clearly shows him hitting his head, resulting to bleeding. He has anterograde amnesia, which is essentially the whole premise of the movie. One example is he says, if we talk too long, I'll forget how we started. The next time I see you, I'm not going to remember this conversation. Three, the third requirement is disorder shows up immediately after the traumatic brain injury. He shows this by saying, I remember everything up until my injury. I just can't make new memories. Treatment. I would prescribe him to write notes and have a monitoring system, which is a system that allows its user to capture data, process, and disseminate information in a systematic way. And lastly, I would prescribe him a person of trust. This is because he already kind of does the first two. The problem is he is fed misinformation from two people, which leads him to doing unethical things. Why I would prescribe him this treatment, I found in my research that in cases with severe injuries, an external aid such as notes or a monitoring system are proven to be very helpful. I don't think this treatment is unethical or culturally specific. I think writing notes and having a monitoring system and having someone you trust around you is doable for anyone. Uh, I already talked about how Leonard already has implemented these first two. The film's portrayal very is very structured towards Leonard's anterograde amnesia. It alternates between two structures of scenes. Some of these are in color, some of these are in black and white. The colored scenes are played in reverse chronological order, while the black and white scenes are played in chronological order, and they alternate between the two of them. I added this model on the side because it's kind of hard to understand if you have not seen the movie before. The film's portrayal, I believe, is partially accurate. It demonstrates the lacking ability uh, to make new long-term memories. But the level of independence that Leonard experiences is a little questionable. Don't think you could be this independent with this severe of a condition. And the way his memory completely resets all at once is a little inaccurate. Your memory would more fade over time and not just all of a sudden you forget everything. I believe this film does increase the understanding of the disorder. It because you see the colored scenes in reverse chronological order, you don't know what happens before, similar to Leonard. And I do think the inaccuracy could lead to some misinformation, but overall, it is a helpful film for the understanding of anterograde amnesia. Here are my citations.